It's using that. Okay, we're live. So, guys, welcome to the Church Communications podcast. And today we're sponsored by Tidely. Tidely exists to help local churches thrive by providing mobile giving and church engagement apps that connect people with people on the go. But what we're super excited about the church app platform is that they created it for you to help engage with your church. The Tidely Church app enables members to take interactive sermon notes, listen to messages on the go, access small group material, check the prayer list, and engage with your church in real time via the news feed, give, and much more. You can go to churchcommunications.com/free app. Again, that's churchcommunications.com/free app to check out this amazing offer, and you can get a free church app for a year. So there's no setup, no monthly fee for a full year. Go to churchcommunications.com/free app, and Tidely will get you the hookup. So, what's up, Daryl?
Oh, Katie, how are you doing? How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So we're finally okay. So we have tried so many different platforms to Facebook Live. Literally so many.
Yep.
And what I love is that we're still trying to figure it out. So
we are.
It's literally so much fun. So hi, Sarah.
It is. And yeah, so today folks, we're doing Skype. And so which by the way, technically I read the other day that in Skype's term of service use that if you use it for a podcast that every 30 minutes you're supposed to say that this call's brought to you by Skype. Did you know that?
Oh, well, we're using Skype, so
we're using Skype. I learned that today.
We're going to say that. Thank you for bringing this
Yay.
to Skype.
Yes. So anyway, to answer your question, today, for those of you who don't know, our church does quarterly reviews, okay? And so that's where we sit down and we go through our goals, and then we go through our competencies, and every individual staffer basically gets rated, and you have a discussion about your work and about your goals. So today was our team's day. So I've been talking about feelings a lot all day long. So
feelings.
You know how
people
feelings,
have them.
People have them, and they shared them with me for 8 straight hours. So I'm warning you. I have no idea what's going to come out of this mouth at this point in the day. So hey, but I'm excited. I'm pumped to be here. How are you doing, Katie?
I'm doing fine. I didn't deal with people's feelings for the most part, and I learned. So today was lunch and learn day at the church.
Ooh.
So at our church, we have staff chapel at 11, and then we have lunch and learn at 11:30, and then that just goes on until about 1. So today we learned about mental health and how to improve your mental health. And then also we learned about suicide prevention. So that was interesting, to say the least.
Awesome. And folks, as we try this new platform, feel free to comment and let us know if audios are
weird or buggy. Let me know.
Weird or buggy, please let us know. Yeah. Yes, I skipped that to do some work. I'm gonna admit. But hey, you know what? Today we're gonna talk about something that surprisingly for most of y'all, I say most of y'all, for some of you, may not be on the top of your list of things you're thinking about right now. But as we're going to talk about here in a little bit, it's coming. And folks, we're going to talk about Easter.
Wave.
Easter is on its way. For those of you who don't know, it is April 1st. April 1st this year is Easter. So as of today, you're looking at probably
not.
in the past. So that's what we're talking about today. So if you've got questions about Easter or got ideas or stuff you want to share, just throw it. I will talk them through as we go along on today's podcast. So first thing we want to dive in is one thing we need to recognize about this year's Easter that's different than years past is, guess what, folks? It's on April Fools. That's right. Easter this year is on the 1st of April. So what does that mean? Well, other than maybe you have a practical want to kind of do that, want to play off it. My personal opinion, I stay away from it. Your church you may be able to do that, maybe totally pull that off. But that makes this year just a little bit different than years in the past. So, April Fools. Katie and I actually have a tradition on April Fools. Yes. Really? Okay. Yeah, let me I will pull it up on my end to see if I can hear. Yeah. Yeah. Uh okay, audio gone. No audio. My audio was dropping. Yeah. My audio was yeah. Yeah, your audio's out, Katie. Yeah, I mean, I can hear you via Skype. I'm also listening to I'm also listening to the actual live feed, and your audio's gone on the live feed.
What now?
Okay, give it a second. I'm on a little slight delay watching the feed and then watching you.
I took away my mic. It's just my headphones.
Okay, let's see what happens. Folks, there she is. Okay.
Such
Oh, yeah, thumb me a thumbs up, so it's for my video.
Hey,
Oh, yeah, there you go. Yeah, you're
okay.
back.
All
You're
right.
back.
Great.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Yeah.
guys. So sorry about that little problem. Okay. So let's go back to Easter. All right.
Go
So
back to
we were
Easter.
saying, what were we saying about Easter? It's on April Fool's Day, and we have a tradition on April Fool's Day at our church.
Too. I like our
So
tradition a lot.
I asked Daryl, like the first year I was here, I was like, can we do an April Fool's joke on our website? Is that going to be okay, or am I going to get fired? And he was
Yeah.
like, what do you want to do? And I was like, I want to change the photos of our leadership to something funny. So I have changed them in the past to Sesame Street characters, to Toy Story characters, and to what was the other one?
Did we do Star Wars?
Star Wars. No, it wasn't Star Wars. It was Toy Story.
Toy Story?
Oh, Muppets.
Muppets.
Wait, no, it wasn't Sesame Street. It was just Muppets.
We did Muppets.
Okay, I think that's
and we
it,
did
though.
Toy Story.
Yes, I think that's
Yeah.
all we've done, actually. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, and it's always been hilarious, and I think the senior staff has actually super appreciated it and thought it was funny as well, and enjoyed finding out who they were that day. We didn't do
Yes.
it last year, just because it was a Saturday, so I was like, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna do this on a Saturday, and this year is Easter Sunday, so I don't think it's probably appropriate to change our
Yes.
senior pastor's photo to something funny. But I'm sure next year I'll be back.
Yes.
You know, maybe Pokemon or something will appear. I don't know. So I guess we'll find out. I just can't wait to make my senior pastor Pikachu.
Yes.
Actually,
yeah,
he probably should be Ash. He's like the one who always wants to catch them all, you know?
Yes, exactly. Yes. So, so all that to say, yes. So keep in mind as we talk through Easter, it's on April Fools. So that may be a slight wrinkle for you for whatever reason that may be. But I always just keep that in the back of my mind and also keep in mind that morning, again, as I'll say it again, it'll be the worst time to play practical jokes because of the stress of that day. So just keep that in mind. So let's talk about a couple of things in terms of regards to Easter. As you're thinking through Easter, as you're thinking through getting ready for the big
final countdown.
Big day. Okay, for a lot of you. I want to talk about a little bit. I'm going to start at a higher level first. And for some of us, I want to talk for a second about the difference between marketing Easter and Christmas, and that there is a difference between the two holidays, and obviously not in terms of, but how you market and how you approach it. And one of the things you need to think through this is for a lot of us, at least in our world, we have a tendency sometimes to almost treat them the same.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of do the same marketing actions, we do the same thing. But I think there's a little bit of your fault in that, in the sense that when you're dealing with Christmas, remember with Christmas, you're dealing with multiple calls to action from multiple people in regards to what goes on around that holiday season. So if you are, you may have a local art center, which is doing like doing a Christmas story live theater production.
Mm-hmm.
You may be dealing with lots of things going on, versus when you're competing with whatever you have going on at your church. So there's like a lot of call to actions in somebody's inbox, if you will. Think about mental inbox, if you will, for Christmas. When you're dealing with Easter, really the only thing you're dealing with is you're competing against restaurants who are hosting like an Easter brunch that morning.
Right.
You're not competing with a whole lot more. So the question is it's a real, can you figure out ways to have those clear call to actions to drive people in for Sunday morning?
Yeah.
And helping them choose what time, helping them make that decision. So it's not a matter of committing whether or not they're going to, and what are they going to do on Easter to a certain degree. It's a matter of, are they going to go to your church? And if so, what time are they going to go? You almost have it slightly easier, but you need a lot better clarification on helping people understand the main things of where you're located at, what time of your services, because some of y'all will do different times for Easter than you normally would. Well, by the way, that's a big thing on your website. Make sure your website, if you change your times on Easter, change your times everywhere, just not on a special Easter page. Take it from us. One time we changed it on the Easter page, but then changed it on the main page, and things got confusing.
Whoops.
Yes. So when you're thinking
you may want to also update it on Google. So
yes.
Google My Business, you can update your times and change them there. So recommend
Yep.
that. And I also recommend getting a chat bot and letting them also
Yep.
tell people times and directions.
Yeah, so you've got, and depending on your tradition, as Pam pointed out in the chat, like Ash Wednesday is also on Valentine's Day this year, so there's another fun one. So the things are lining up to be a little bit different this year, but as you're thinking through your marketing of it, think through some of those things that are going to come into play for you in regards to, again, I want to emphasize that I think for a lot of us, we take our Christmas template, we just apply it to Easter. And these are two different animals and two different beasts, if you will, in terms of marketing. So keep that in mind. Katie, walk them through like some of the things that we've done in the past that worked well for us, specifically like us having our own separate website and why we went that route.
Yeah, so we have a separate website for Easter. You can actually see it right now. It's the old one from last year. We haven't updated it yet. It's eastertn.com. So we chose that domain name just because it was open, and also it was available. And because our name is such a regional name, but our church is not a regional church necessarily. Yeah. So, we had to pick a more broad name. So it's eastertn.com. And what I love about it is that, it's a central place for all of our churches. So we have like multiple campuses, and it just gives an easy place to find the information about that specific campus without having to go to each individual website. So it makes marketing really simple for me when I'm sharing this stuff, because I can share we're one church with all these multiple campuses, and you can see that we have different things going on for Palm Sunday, and that we have an Easter egg hunt at West Franklin, and that we have Easter Sunday, and just those kind of events that are around that. So, yeah.
Yeah. The great thing about that is we put the Google Analytics on it. We were able to track it, and man, I would say like 3 days beforehand, that traffic on that thing just goes through the roof and spikes. And so we know for a fact it's effective. And you also mentioned that we do the same thing for Christmas. We have Christmas TN as well, and so and that one's a little more complex given the fact that we have the concerts and all that kind of stuff listed there. So having a microsite for your church, especially if you're multi-campus, is not a bad idea. Mm-hmm. And again, it's super clean. Now, honestly, in some ways, it's kind of how I wish our webpage was to begin with. You just go here, here's the times, locations, and map, and nothing else. That's all you get. That would be my dream for how our website was set up. So
maybe in the future we can think about that. Especially we have a lot of different issues, as many churches do, about the way things are set up, and what would be easier to communicate with. So,
Yep.
Pam asked, do you know anything about creating landing pages via Constant Contact? I don't. We don't know. We don't use Constant Contact at our church. We just started using MailChimp, to be super honest. And I know MailChimp does offer landing pages now too. I would just to be like, just Google it. It'll come up. But you can also ask, of course, in our group, because I'm sure there'll probably be multiple people who have looked for or used landing pages in Constant Contact.
But you know what? That's actually really smart though. Using your email provider, if you're on Constant Contact, if you're on MailChimp, if you're on any of those ones that are designed to be call to action marketing pieces to grab email, is to put
that would make so much more sense.
Put all of your stuff there in terms of your times, locations, and hey, if you want more follow up, just send, or maybe you've got an opt in of some sort, hey, a PDF of some sort. That would be super smart to do on that website, given the fact that the traffic you're going to get for that day.
Yeah,
that'd be really smart. I like that idea.
Yeah, I wish. We thought that way. I think we're a little differently set up, so it's a little harder to figure that out. But
yeah,
seeing our CHMS is like a hot mess sometimes.
We don't talk about our CHMS. If you ask, you'll know it if you mention it if you mention our CHMS in the group. You'll see vitriol come out of Katie and I.
That we just have feelings about it. Just feelings.
We got a lot of feelings about it.
And that's okay. It's reasonable. So let's talk about Daryl. Tell me about the Pantone color of the year.
Okay, so here's why I wrote this down. I wrote that down, like, when you talk about the design, everybody's going to come up with a design, and I think you can easily go on to some of my favorite places to find design and figure out what's the ideas are Behance.net and then Dribbble, and Dribble's with 3 B's, Dribbble.com. I like to go there and kind of peruse what artists are doing, designers are doing. And one of the things I noticed this year is a big trend on the design when they're talking about Easter, and it's kind of funny, is that this color usually is normally an Easter color, but it's also the Pantone color of the year. If you don't know what that means, is the Pantone color, the Pantone organization, they basically are the official color makers of the world. Like, they will actually create specific colors for you name it. Like, in other words, if a company wants to have their own branded color, you can go to them and they can create their own branded color for you. So every year they declare a color of the year. And that sounds stupid, but the reality of it is they're pretty good about predicting like what color is going to be in. And this year, of all colors, it's purple. Like, it's like orchid. I think it's actually the color for this year. Mm-hmm. So it is the 2018 color of the year is it's ultraviolet this year. That's the color.
Ultraviolet.
Ultraviolet. So the reason why I bring that up is because you're going to see a lot of this color. So one of the things I suggest you do is you need to figure out if you want to, whatever you do in regards to your marketing, figure out how does your marketing going to stand out from everybody else. If everybody else is going purple, maybe you go a different color. But think about your marketing, specifically, like for us, the reason why I bring that up for you is in our context, is on our road that we're on, and granted we're in the South, so you can throw a rock and hit a church. There are literally, I can probably count no less than 5 to 6 churches I will pass in probably a 3-mile stretch. You will have what I call roadside banners advertising their Easter services. And I guarantee you, majority of them are going to be purple and white. Okay, they're going to have some sort of purple, maybe some pink, some different hues, and they're all going to say the same things. They're all going to kind of blend in. So I suggest, if you want to try something new, try to, when everybody goes left, go right. So in other words, try something new, and that's what we're going to do. We are going to try a different color combination. We argued about purple. Purple was in. We had a good design discussion. You know what? We're not. We're actually going to go with something really cool. And I think probably in a few weeks we'll probably start one of those show us your Easter artwork threads. And when we do that, we'll obviously put ours on there as well. So I bring that up because it's the color of the year. It's ultraviolet. I'm a bit of a color nerd in regards to this type of things, but that color is going to be a color that you're going to see in a lot of places, and you're definitely going to see it at Easter as well.
Yeah.
So there you go. Nerd out on some color, people.
Color.
Give me color and fonts. I'm all there. Katie, let's talk about some other stuff that we talked about in terms of marketing, and that is conversation starters. And what I mean by that is things that people you can give your people in terms of starting conversations. I know we've done stuff like tear off business cards that are in the bulletin that they can turn around and hand to their friends.
Right.
But you had this really killer idea that you showed me, which at first I really honestly, I'll be honest with you,
I thought it was lame.
I did think it was lame until I saw the fact that this thing is really popular and people like it. So you want to explain what I'm talking about?
Let me explain why I liked it to begin with. I think that would be important. Okay, so when I was in high school, I was an evangelistic champ. Okay, I knew how to play the game to get people to talk to me about Jesus. And so, cause I would set up these very intentional steps. I'm gonna wear socks, that say something about Jesus. I know this sounds crazy. I'm gonna wear socks that say something about Jesus in my PE class that was full of 7th graders cause I didn't want to take PE until senior year. Anyway, so I was in PE class with 7th graders.
No, wait, don't want to hear it. You were a senior in high school who took PE with 7th graders?
Yep, sure was. Me and my best friend Rebecca. Shout out to Rebecca if she's watching. Yeah, we really hated it. So, anyway, I took PE with 7th graders. And here's the thing. Here's what was great about taking PE with 7th graders. Is that, okay, so obviously you're changing in the locker room or whatever. The only thing, you really, continue to wear, from your day to, the other part is your socks, really. So, I was I'm gonna wear these, crazy socks. And so I, bought these socks and wore them, and I actually got to have several intentional conversations about Jesus because of the stupid socks. And I know, and I still have them to this day. That's the funny part. They're in my sock drawer right now. But the thing is, I set up an intentional way to make sure I had these conversations. And that, I think, so many people need more easy ways to be all right, how can I just make this happen, without it being awkward and without me, having to, I don't know, let me tell you about Jesus or I don't know. So, because honestly, I just wanted an end to tell people about, or to ask people about what I could be praying for them or that kind of thing, to tell them about what he's actually doing in my life personally. So anyway, this idea. All right. So, you can go to whiteflag.org. So
I'll throw it in the comments.
Yeah, he'll throw it in the comments real quick. So whiteflag.org. They're already sold out of these. So, what I love about this idea is, so they're just real basic white flags with this super abstract imagery on them. And, they're meant to be prompts, conversation starters, about Jesus in your home. So they're supposed to prompt these ideas. And so I love that. I love that thought that you can, prompt that you can just prompt this conversation in your house. So I know, I'm still trying to think, how do I start this awkward lead-in though to talk about this random piece of abstract art in my house? I know it's still oh, this is really far-fetched, Katie, but I think it's really cool. We've got to figure out ways to first off to invite people home, to invite people to into our homes, that. That was something somebody had posted about on Twitter. I'm going to say it was a pastor from the Summit, Rob Lauder's church. And they said, how do we start, racial reconciliation? How do we, but then also, how do we lead someone to Jesus that doesn't, it all starts at the dinner table. It all starts by being real friends. Yeah. That's where it starts. And so, how can we do that more, and how can we encourage those conversations? So, I like the white flag idea because it's in the home, and it's just a simple idea to have a conversation. So, that was an idea that we had, for Easter that we're still, throwing around and trying to figure out, what can we do, with that. So we landed on some cool thoughts, but who knows if we'll actually do them. I have high hopes for us.
We have high hopes. We do. We have high hopes. But yeah, we want to create something that we can give to our people that is a conversation starter in some way, shape, or form. But it's not a blatant conversation starter in the sense of it's a business card that you say, hey, here's Easter, here's what time, and not to say we don't want clear calls to action. Let me be very clear about that. We still want to provide those avenues and opportunities. Yeah. But what we want to do is we want to create something that is a conversation starter for people to go ask questions about it, whatever that is.
I really want to do something different. Like, I really want it to be, because our pastor, he says it again and again, like the first Reformation is about the word getting back to the people, and the second Reformation is about giving the ministry back to the people. And so how can I, as the marketing person at our church, give this marketing back to the people in order so that they share not just that Easter Sunday's happening, but the good news of Jesus Christ with their friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so, which is a bigger ordeal, right? And I know that's what every minister is like trying to figure out, but I'm like, okay, together we have to be able to do this. Like, there has to be a way, because we have the greatest message of all time. And so, and people, I mean, and like Mike says too, people are asking questions about identity and hope and, who am I? And Jesus is the answer to all of those things. So, yeah, sorry, I just got on like a preaching tangent.
No. It's yeah, because I mean, I think one of the things we do is you and I've talked about this is, how do we create those opportunities for people to have what we're now referring to our church as gospel conversations. Now let's talk a little bit about stuff that you call to actions you do inside of your church. Katie, you and I have started playing the last 2 years with floor stickers, and I think we use a company called Sticker Genius for them, and they've been a great company to work with. Mm-hmm. So is that something you see us doing again this year? And if so, how would you modify what we currently done? For those of you who don't know, these are like stickers you can get of any custom size and build that you lay down like a laminate floor, you lay down on your carpet. Talk to your facilities people before you do this, because you'll either pull the wax off the floor.
We did.
Check. Or you lose residue on the carpet. Check.
Did that too.
Yeah, I've done that too.
You can get less stickiness, though. I know, like, they can send you a tester and you'll test it and be fine, but, like, really, probably go for the less sticky version.
Go for the least stickiest version possible.
It'll still stick, we promise. Yeah, we went for, like, 10 strength or something, because we thought, these people are going to be walking all over it, but... Yeah. So anyway, so this has been posted in our group like a million times. So I just wanted to like reiterate this idea, because I think it's such a cool idea, to get a picture of where you put your feet, and then you have a message above it, like join me, or I was here for this or whatever, join me next week, at church, and you have the person take a picture of their feet on this sticker, and so they post that sticker to Instagram or whatever. So like, I think that's such a cool and really easy way to get people involved in sharing things on their personal profile, which was what we talked about last week. Like, what's more important than sharing things on your page is getting people to share things on their personal profile. Yeah. And so, I think that's a simple way. And why don't we think of different ways that we can do even more of that? Whether that's a photo booth setup, like a permanent art installation throughout this next series or something. There's got to be a couple of different ways. Target has such a cool photo booth. They had one for Christmas. Did you see the photo booth at Christmas at Target? No. I wonder if we can like get a hold of one of those. Because it had really cool lighting. So like you would push a button and all these cool LED lights would come on. It was just this big, like cardboard box thing, that was a Santa thing for Christmas. Really? Yeah, and so you pushed it and all these LED lights would come on for like 10 seconds while you took a selfie or got your friends to take a picture or whatever. And so, how cool is that? Like, if we could create something like that, that would be amazing. And I mean, it has to be totally possible. Also, maybe we can contact our local Targets and I'll get one. Who knows? I will say this: if you're looking at doing like a photo booth, if you just do a little bit of research, it's really about getting. If you can get somebody to get you to borrow an iPad, doesn't matter, iPad Mini, regular iPad, iPad Pro, whatever. There's certain software you can get, and then it's a matter of probably getting a ring light, which you can actually get for a pretty reasonable amount of money from Amazon. And you kind of put all those things together with a tripod, and you've got yourself a photo booth, like a self-started photo booth. People can just go up and just tap a button. You see them at parties and weddings now all the time. My wife put one together for a girls' event, and I don't think she spent
maybe $50-$60 putting the whole thing together. So if you know what you're doing, you can pull together a photo booth really quick and easy. And the cool thing about it is when you do it like this, the cool thing about some of the software that you can get now is that when they hit the photo, they log into their account and they automatically post it from the photo booth to their account. So there's no like grabbing the photo, taking the photo, then posting the photo on their devices. They can all do everything from right inside the iPad, which I think is pretty cool.
That is neat. Didn't know it did all that. Yeah. So I don't know. Those are some fun ideas. Does anybody else have any crazy ideas they want to share with us in the comments while we're
feel free?
Well, yeah, while we're closing up shop. Anybody been thinking about Easter yet? Have you considered what you're going to be doing? So we talked about the color of the year, but we're actually not even using the color of the year. I don't know if we should. We thought about it. We definitely considered it. We have in the past used a color of the year. And, it didn't fall too great that one time. It felt a little brown. But, yeah, I mean, it's all good. It's different things, so.
Yes, which year was that we did that?
We did that the second year I was here, so maybe like 2015. We did that pink color with the sans serif font, the big sans serif. But we've done bold color with bold type before. That's what I was thinking. Yes. And then you'd mentioned that. I was like, yep, we did that one time.
Oh, that's right. Originally, yeah, because I talked about one of the ideas I pitched was we go just straight flat purple with just bold Gotham, if you will. It just says Easter, period. And I thought about pulling that off, but
which is good too.
I do. I like it, but it's a little. There's not. I like it, but
I can see where like the unbeliever might be like, I don't even want to like.
Yeah, it's a little too much like Easter, and the other thing, by the way, another thing that I always am struck by, and this is I don't have hard evidence on this, it's just anecdotal evidence, and that's you and I running the photo booth on Easter morning, by the way, which is one of the things that we get to do, is the number of moms who are very clearly in charge of what a family's on Sunday morning. Like you can tell when a family's been dragged to church by mom or grandma, and they're the ones who are running things. It's just abundantly apparent, and because of that, like I always think when I think of the marketing, I'm thinking, how do I make this really geared towards moms and females, because they're the ones who are deciding where you're going to church, who's showing up, what time. I don't have hard evidence on that, but the anecdotal evidence on that for me has been it's usually the moms making the drivers making that decision.
The moms, man, they're killing it.
Yes, they are.
All right. I guess we discussed Easter, so
Easter's done.
Easter is done.
Finished.
I know all of you are done now. You don't even have to like think through or plan it at all. Like you got all of our sweet tips, so
there you go. That's it. Yeah. So we're gonna wrap this podcast up. But don't forget, by the way, we do have an event coming up on April 19th. So if you haven't registered, do that. Head over to thebigIdeaNational.com. Our church. Let me rephrase that. Our church has an event coming up. We make that clear that our church is having an event. It's a conference of communicators.
Saddleback also has a communicators thing, so this is similar. Our church is throwing one, and we just happen to work there.
We just happen to work there. We're excited to do it. So
yeah, we are.
We would love for you to come hang out with us. So check it out, BigIdeaNashville.com. Until then, you guys have a wonderful week, and we will talk to you soon. Take care, guys.
Bye.
Bye.